Looks like it's going fine so far. I've been wanting to build this up for so freaking long. You know what I always find weird with these things, with these larger sets? I don't know how many larger sets you've bought, but I've noticed this a lot where they come with the one white box, but then the rest are just chilling in here.
Yeah.
You know, I've had it where they've both been in boxes, but I don't know if it's the way they manufacture them on a couple different sites or what, but it's always a pain.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Seems like, just want to make sure these are all higher up numbers. Looks like some of my stuff might have got bent a little bit. Looks like it's fairly all right though. The sails, I haven't actually built a set with sails. I mean, it's so uncommon, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But they look pretty good so far. There's a little bent, got a little bent in the box, but. Let's see. So I take it you saw the Wolf Among Us trailer, right?
I did, yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that. I saw they were doing the live stream yesterday, and I totally forgot about it till everybody said something in the Discord.
Yeah.
So it's about time for that, because it's been like 10 years. Yeah, I'm just getting everything situated for this, and then try to read some of the stuff. This is obviously going to be a trial and error type of thing, since this is the first live stream.
I'm trying to figure out how to be able to do the live stream, but without the audio playing, so it doesn't echo.
Yeah, I can't figure it out on my iPad. If I was downstairs, or if I had my laptop, if I had a laptop, I'd be able to do it. But I will figure it out. thick, freaking thick ass instruction manual. It's like a whole book. It's not one, or it's not multiple. It's one whole book.
I would imagine it to be.
Yeah, usually they'll separate them. Like when I was building Ninjago City, it was like 3 books. Stranger Things was 2 books. This is like a whole book. This is like one of the largest ones I've gotten. That's insane.
Yeah, I remember when I got the Seinfeld set. It was a decent sized book.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good sized book.
Yeah, something that I meant to mention about when I was building that set, it was kind of a pain in the ass to figure out where to put down certain floorboard tiles, because that's the first time that I've ever had to build with those floorboard tiles. And of course, it had to be in a very specific order, otherwise.
Oh yeah, the way, yeah.
Just one in the wrong place, you got to start all over.
Yeah, I know. That was something else I noticed too, because you want to just do it in like the same kind of pattern that they were doing when they first start, because it was like up 2, down 2, up 2, down 2, but then it started changing once you get further down, and that one was kind of a pain. I was like, geez, that's like one of the things I hate with Lego sets, is some of the repetition with some sets I see and I'm just like, I'm not gonna even try to I'm not even gonna try to buy this set, because it's just gonna be way too repetitive and I know I'm gonna get frustrated. Like
Yeah.
the Coliseum's a big one that I don't care to personally get, but like that just looks so tedious. Kind of the same thing for the roller coaster. I wanted to get that set. I don't think I'm gonna get it by the time it retires this year, or I think it might have just retired. But that one was also like with all the beams and stuff, super repetitive.
I heard some people say that building the Daily Bugle was a bit repetitive because the outside looks all the same, but I mean, there's a lot of variety going on with the interior.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed building Daily Bugle. I built it over a couple different sessions, but it was really, I really didn't have any issues with it. So, yeah, I don't know. Some people feel a certain way about certain sets, but I didn't personally find it super repetitive. But yeah, I could see what they mean. I mean, it is a lot of the same, like windows and stuff, but yeah, there's enough variety in the inside at least that it didn't feel that bad.
I know a set that I heard a lot of people complain about was the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Like, they love the way it looks on the interior, but the outside bit is kind of plain.
Yeah, that was one of those sets that passed me by. It was a little bit before where I was like having like a stable income and like was really buying some of those more expensive Lego sets, and it's one that I always wanted, but I can imagine that one probably is pretty repetitive too. The inside there wasn't much to write home about, and even some of the minifigures I didn't think were that great either. But yeah. I wish they just would come out with a Pirates theme.
Yeah, I know that they briefly brought it back in like 2015, but
they weren't even
not really much has been seen on it.
Yeah.
Recently.
Well, they weren't even that great of sets that I can recall when they did bring it back, and it was really short lived, and it was really a really small wave if I remember correctly. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll bring it back eventually. Oh my gosh, this head's stuck on here.
I kind of wish that they did more with like the latest Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because they only released one single set for it, which was the
Silent Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that set too. I actually totally forgot. I should have put that on the Paul, since I had like could have had a couple different pirate stuff. But yeah, I know. I wish they would have done more for that wave too, because I think Pirates of the Caribbean deserves a revival for their Lego sets. Same with Lord of the Rings and all of them. They you know, that's the thing that drives me nuts, because it was just a little bit before my time where I was really into Lego. So it was, I was still young, and you were younger obviously too. And so it was whatever I got for Christmas or my birthday. And that was very far and wide in between. So like I got the Fountain of Youth, if I remember correctly, Pirates of the Caribbean set, and then maybe like one other, but I really didn't get a lot of the sets. And I really liked Pirates of the Caribbean. I just didn't pan out. And I was like 12, I think, when those ones came out. But yeah, I would like for them, if they like do come out with another movie, to freaking actually come out with like a proper wave this time. Kind of like what they're talking about with Indiana Jones, with all the rumors being.
Yeah, I would love for them to bring back Indiana Jones. I loved the Indiana Jones sets when I was younger.
Yeah, I would say honestly those sets are like what really got me into Lego. I knew what Legos were, and I as a kid I played with them, but I wasn't like super, like it wasn't like what I was super into. But I remember getting the little motorcycle chase one from The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
And that like sealed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like a couple other ones too. But yeah, there's so many sets from those waves too that I didn't get, because I was like 10 at the time, and was that was like my introduction to Lego. And yeah, but I mean, it sounds like they're coming back with them to next year, maybe even later this year, which I'm totally for, because of the new movie coming out.
I mean, I was almost afraid that they weren't going to bring back Indiana Jones because of the more dark themes of the original movies.
Yeah, I know. Lego's kind of hypocritical with that stuff. They don't want to have like, they don't want to have like military stuff or, warfare, but then like they'll make these exceptions for like certain things, or like canceling the Osprey because it's like a war vehicle or a war helicopter, even though it was like the one they were doing was a fucking rescue helicopter. But yeah, I don't know. That kind of stuff drives me nuts with Lego. Just like, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they will bring back Indiana Jones. Last time, I mean, they just had the Nazi soldiers, just like just generic looking German soldiers. I would not be surprised if they are more kid friendly this time around, though. I could totally see them not redoing some of those sets, like for example the Raiders of the Lost Ark. What was it, it was like that plane, that biplane or whatever. I was surprised they did that, honestly, in the first place, because that's a pretty violent scene in that movie. So
yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get a good amount for the fifth movie, and then maybe like 5 or 6 sets for the other ones. Probably some like super generic ones, but I'm not opposed to it. I think there's a lot of pretty cool torsos and faces you could get from those minifigures.
Yeah, because I know that 2018 is when they revived Lego Harry Potter, and that was around the time the second Fantastic Beasts movie was coming out.
Yeah, and Fantastic Beasts did the worst. So they don't even. They're not even making any sets for the Secrets of Dumbledore this year. Like I'm fairly confident there's been nothing released that I know of, rumor-wise, that they're doing anything for it. It's just Harry Potter sets. But yeah, that's the other thing. It's like Lego hasn't touched anything from the later films in Harry Potter, and that's been driving me crazy. Like no Deathly Hallows, no. I mean, like yeah, you have some Half-Blood Prince stuff, but it's like there's only like really like 1 or 2 sets. They could be doing so much more.
Yeah, because I think I heard Lego say that they want to focus on like the more fun, magical side of the earlier movies, as opposed to the more dark themes that are explored in the later movies.
Yeah, but it's like the problem is that most of these people buying these sets aren't kids. I know this is like the common debate with Lego, is that, you know, it's a kid's toy, but like let's be real, like the amount of people that buy some of those sets are not kids, and like most of the kids that would buy Harry Potter, Harry Potter is not really their generation. It's like the Fantastic Beasts and stuff hasn't done well, and that's supposed to be like catering to the new generation of kids, but like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know, it's like they're gonna sell well. I mean, Gringotts is like one of the big ones people keep wanting, but they just refuse to do for whatever reason. Like that direct-to-consumer set would sell super well. I would get it. I kind of, you know, am hesitant to get Diagon Alley, just because I was expecting more from it than what we got. But you know, if they did a Gringotts and it's $400, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd figure out a way to get it.
Okay, I think it's kind of bullshit that Lego says that they won't do sets on the Deathly Hallows because it's too dark for them, but they'll do the Stranger Things. Granted, that set was exclusive to Lego stores and shop at home, but Stranger Things is definitely not a show that's intended for kids. It definitely has a lot of cursing and dark themes in it. Yeah,
I know. They get away with it for some reason for that, because it's like 16 plus or whatever for the build. I mean, there's even talks about them coming out with another direct-to-consumer set this year for Stranger Things. And yeah, I know it's just them moving the goalposts back and forth. I mean, it's there's a lot of hypocrisy in Lego, if we're gonna be real. But it just blows me away sometimes. Like there's some things that you could just like, they would sell so well, but they don't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, real quick, before I say what I was going to say, were we going to do like corny-ass introductions, or are we just going to kind of breeze on by?
I mean, yeah, I kind of forgot to do an introduction, and we're 20 minutes in. You can introduce yourself.
Whatever. I'm sure that everyone knows who we are.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you don't know who I am, subscribe. It's Official Bricks. I'm talking to AaronNino. That seems like a good introduction or thing in the middle there. Yeah, I'm not able to see the comments right now. I have not been able to figure that out just yet, so let's see. Okay, so maybe what I can do, what might work is if you pause the stream. I'm going to try it. I can look at live chat, and if I pause the stream, I might be able to see it.
All right.
This is all growing pains. I'm going to figure this out eventually, but... Let's see. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go downstairs real quick.
All right. So, what's up, guys? Can't see the chat, but hope all y'all are doing good.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, so I think if I do this correctly, if I pause the stream, I'm pretty sure I can still read the live chats. We'll try it out.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going about this, and honestly, I already know I'm gonna just, because I don't know, I'm sure you know this already about the set, but you can obviously build the ship or make it a shipwreck, and yeah, I'm building. They're having me build the foundation for this first. But it's like, I already know I'm not going to keep it like this, so I don't know if I'm wasting my time here. But I guess I'll try it out and have it. I guess I'll at least try it, see how it looks. But I'm going to obviously take the ship and put it together, because I think that's the true form for this thing.
Do you plan on using it for anything?
Yeah, I would like to. One of the projects that I really would like to do is a Pirates stop motion. I actually have a couple episodes of it written, but it's just about when I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. I've thought about, since I'm building the set, maybe I could start doing it later this year, at least getting episodes out slowly, because it'd be something else I'd want to do with voice actors. I mean, anything that I do, really, I would like to just do with voice actors from now on. It seems more practical. Might take a little bit more time, but
yeah,
I feel like I get more joy and pride out of my work when I do it that way. So yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like both of us, we have a million ideas in the pipeline, but we just can't find the time to get them actually out.
Yeah, that is very true. I have so many things that I've written. I've done so many outlines for. I just don't have the time to do it. It sucks. Like, I really want to. Like, I have a general idea, or at least kind of that. I have the first couple episodes of it, like a Lego Pirates stop motion, and the first season would ideally be 10 episodes. I'd split it up into 2 parts, so like the first 5 episodes would kind of be like it'd be an overarching story, but I would be able to end it at the 5th episode for a little bit and work on some other stuff. If that makes sense, kind of like the mid-season thing I do with Lego The Walking Dead. But yeah, I only have like the first 4 episodes written outlined, and then I have like the very broad strokes of what I'd want for the end of the first season, ideally. But it is something that I would like to do. The other thing I want to do is a Western, and that is also something that it would be a voice actor thing. But yeah, I'm more leaning towards a pirate stop motion before I do that one. So
yeah, no, real quick, if there are any kids in this live stream that are in high school or something like that, enjoy your freedom while you have it, because goddamn, once you graduate high school and you have to enter the real world, that's when the shit really starts, okay?
yeah.
Enjoy this time while you have it.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt. I was like, dude, I wanted to be an adult so bad until I became an adult. Now here we are. What do I feel?
Yeah, it's crazy. I graduated high school almost 2 years ago now, and it feels a lot longer than that. It feels more like it's been 5 years.
Yeah, it definitely does.
But yeah, what I was going to say earlier about Stranger Things, because we were talking about the set, is as for okay, so for the show itself, I kind of got into it fairly late. Like by the time I finally got into it, I already had the first 2 seasons to watch, and then season 3 came along, and I like Stranger Things. I'm not crazy about it because when I was hearing about it, people were like preaching about how it was like the best show ever. And I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere near the best show that I've ever seen. I still think that honor goes to Breaking Bad. Like, no contest. For years now, I've labeled Breaking Bad as the best TV show that I've ever watched.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch Breaking Bad. It's been a while since I've watched it. I watched Stranger Things for the first time when I got the set 6 months ago. I was building it as I was watching it. I got like to season 3. That's how long it took me to freaking build it. Kind of doing it off and on, and then watching some of the episodes before I went to bed. But yeah, I thought Stranger Things was great and all. Like, it was cool and all. I didn't think it was like super amazing. I'm glad that I waited a couple years before, before, you know, like, because I tried to watch it, I think, when the first season came out, and I want to say that I watched the whole first season, but I watched it like kind of like here and there for a couple days, and I wasn't really paying attention. And so I didn't remember anything except for like just like 1 or 2 scenes from the finale, and like I couldn't remember anything story wise. So I was like, yeah, that's how much I cared. So I went back and rewatched it. You know, I thought it got better with time, but I see why people like it, but I don't get like all the hype around it. I think it's cool that we got a Lego set from it, because some of those figures are like, they're really amazing. Because I was like right when they were starting to do the mid legs, and those things were, they were not easy to come by at the time. You know, you only had so many and so many colors. Now they're in a lot of colors, but back then it was not easy to come by. So, you know, I spent a couple dollars getting those torso or the legs from like the third party markets, secondary market and stuff. But yeah, I like Breaking Bad. I need to go back and rewatch that too, because I watched it when I watched it like right before the finale came out, or right when the finale was coming out, and I liked it. I just I don't know. I thought there were better shows out there. It's something that I do want to rewatch. I'm not sure what show I would say is the best show I've watched, though. There's a lot of shows I like obviously The Walking Dead. You know,
though it has kind of downgraded quality.
It's a love-hate. I'm ready for it to release me. I really like Sons of Anarchy. I thought that show was great. Even the spin-off Minds is pretty good. But yeah, I recently last year, so not recently, it was like a year ago now, I watched Justified. That was pretty good. That was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. So I really like that show. It's a little slower paced though. Yeah, I can't quite think of like what I would say I would say The Walking Dead, just because like I'm such a fan of like what it is and like, you know, the universe, but like the show ain't perfect. It's not perfect by any means. I think it really had a pitfall once Rick left. I know that's what a lot of people say, but yeah.
Yeah, me personally, I think Breaking Bad has like 0 flaws, like maybe 1 or 2 small things, but for the most part, it's pretty much perfect in my eyes. It's still a show that I definitely heavily think about still to this day. Like, for example, towards the end of season 2, if I remember correctly, it was like the main character, Walt, he walked in on Jesse and his girlfriend, Jane, and Jane started like overdosing on heroin, and Walt, he could have saved her, but throughout the episode earlier on, she was kind of driving a wedge between Walt and Jesse, so he just let her die. He let her overdose. That's where I got the idea from in my Lego The Walking Dead series, where Brian just lets Ellie die.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's from Breaking Bad, because that's one of those scenes that was pretty crazy. And then in the chat, Tanner said Sopranos takes the cake for best show. I actually haven't seen The Sopranos. It's been on my to-do list. I hear people raving about The Sopranos. I watched the movie they came out with just like in the last year, The Saints of New York or whatever it's called, something like that. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I need to watch Sopranos as well. Game of Thrones was great until it wasn't. I don't know if you watched that show.
I actually did see most of it with my parents, and yeah, it definitely did start off good, but it did kind of fall off the wagon towards the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, once it started becoming fan fiction, in my opinion, where like fucking Jon Snow and Daenerys are fucking together and stuff. And I'm like, really? I was like, really, we gonna do this? It's like, I get it, like there's incest in this show, but like, oh my god, I don't know, just some of it.
Then, like, the Starbucks cup that ended up sneaking its way in the episode.
Yeah, I know, right? They had to do a patch for that. But yeah, that show was great until it wasn't. I really liked it. I started watching it like at season 5, so I watched season 6 weekly, and season 6 I thought was good. But yeah, season 7 started off good, like really good, and then it kind of, I wouldn't say nosedived, but it was getting close to it, and then season 8 just totally nosedived. It started off promising, but then like once you look at it after it was all said and done, it's just bullshit. The writing is horrendous. For anybody who's seen it, they probably understand, and it's just preaching to the choir at this point. But it is frustrating to see that happen. It's like, really, okay.
Yeah, no, kind of a shame to see a show that started off so good and so bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned it. This show is definitely in like my top, I would say top 3. Dexter, I really like Dexter. They just recently had the spinoff, or not the spinoff, the kind of like the reboot conclude, and that was good. I don't know if you've seen that show or seen the old show, but
I haven't seen it, but I've heard from other people that it's really good.
Yeah, like the original show totally nosedived in the last episode. Like I think the first 4 seasons are like, they're amazing, and then after they kill off a certain character, it just kind of went downhill from there. Like it was still watchable, but yeah, then the last season for Dexter was pretty rough, and then we get this reboot, and I thought it was really great up until the finale, and I wouldn't say I don't like it. It was a little rushed. I think the show needed to have a couple more episodes, or to focus on some things a little bit more and not just rush it at the end. But I would say the finale is better than the initial finale, so yeah. But yeah, Tanner, you're right. Night King was built up for 8 seasons just for Arya to kill him off. Yeah, I know. That was pretty rough. There's just so many other characters that could have killed the Night King off. And also, not to keep going on that rant, but that whole episode was supposed to be like one of the best episodes. They spent so much time on it, and you couldn't even see anything. Couldn't even see what was going on. And anytime someone looked like they're gonna get killed, they just cut to a different scene, and then they were fine the next scene when they showed up there.
It's like a show that I really started getting into during quarantine was the CW show Riverdale. And I didn't really watch it for it being high quality. I just watched it because it was at first it was kind of fun to watch, but then it started to get really bad because of the goofiness of it. Like, in the show's defense, I will say that the first 2 seasons, while flawed, they definitely had a lot of good to them, but season 3 and 4, they were just straight up garbage, like hot garbage.
I watched Riverdale. I watched the first 6 episodes of Riverdale, if I can recall, when it first was coming out, and I watched it once it was on like Netflix or whatever. And my friend, he was like super into it, and he was telling me, he's like, "Oh, I feel bad for this one character." I don't even remember his name anymore, but feel bad for this one character because that was when they were trying to solve the that one murder of those. Someone was found in like the river or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was season 1.
And my friend, was like, "Oh man, you gotta keep watching the show," because I was like, by episode 4, I was like, like it's watchable, but I'm just not sure if it's for me. And then like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna assume I know who the killer is, and I just told my friend, I was like, "Is it this person?" And he was like, "Yeah, it is." And I was like, "All right, I don't care to see it anymore. I figured it out." I was like, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and I'm not even like done with this. Like, I was only like 4 or 5 episodes in, and I was like, all right, well, I don't care to watch it anymore. It's like, thanks for letting me know, because I saved me some time. But yeah, I've seen in like on YouTube and stuff people talking about how just garbage Riverdale is now. And I'm like, I watched some scenes and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, this is pretty rough.
Well, the biggest problem that I have with the later seasons is the absolutely ridiculous villains they introduced. Because season 1, it was mostly a competent murder mystery. Season 2 was like a serial killer that was out for people that had sinned, as well as like the looming threat of a kind of mob boss character. But then season 3, on top of the mob boss character, they have like this Dungeons and Dragons ripoff of Griffins and Gargoyles, where these people are like killing each other over the game, as well as killing themselves over the game. Then there's also like a cult that's harvesting people's organs. And in season 4, they started going real wild with it because the leader of the cult tried to escape town in a damn rocket ship. I'm not kidding.
God. Just hearing about this stuff, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't watch this.
And then what else was there in season 4? There was like this generic group of biker people. The mob boss was still there. There were like these these Stonewall prep assholes, like these preppy kids. This asshole principal, like, yeah, it was painful. Like, actually painful to watch. It was so bad.
Yeah, CW shows are rough. I was watching The 100 when it first came out, and that was cool and all until it wasn't. It's the same story. And then I just see, like, what it becomes and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, CW shows suck. Tanner says the Walking Dead TV show belongs on the CW at this point. I'm not sure about that, but it is pretty rough. I mean, I could see World Beyond being on that. I think World Beyond is right up the alley of CW show. I still have yet to watch all of it. I've only seen the first episode and then some parts of the first season, and then the post-credit
World
scene.
Beyond and Fear, they both belong on the CW lineup because both of them are just hot garbage.
Yeah, god damn, dude. Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to watch that. I need to watch it. There's like, what, 20 episodes? That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, like I said before, I tried to watch season 7 of Fear, and after episode 7, I just couldn't take it anymore, because I didn't think that the show could outdo itself with its stupidity, but they found a way.
They
always
found a
find
way. They found a way. Yeah, I almost feel too invested in Fear at this point. I've really contemplated quitting, especially after John died. But god damn, dude. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead right now is just horrendous. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that show. The whole Alicia thing is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's that whole situation she's in right now is ridiculous. Morgan shouldn't be in the show anymore. He needs to go. He should have gone back to. He should have never left the main show. I think he was one of the best things about the main show at the time. And
well, the only reason they did it was for a boost in ratings.
Well, yeah,
which I don't even think was really necessary.
Now that's why they're bringing fucking
ratings were low.
They're bringing Madison back for that reason now. You know, it's like. That you know how The Walking Dead was all with Scott Gimple being like, oh, we're not gonna give anything away. We're changing things up in the main show. We don't want to say if certain people are coming back or not. Now for Fear the Walking Dead, they're like, yeah, Madison's coming back, everybody. So if you want to tune in, please do. They don't even give a fuck about it being a surprise anymore. They need their ratings to go up. That's what it's at this point.
Yeah, as if they think Madison coming back will actually fix the awful writing. It won't, but they seem to think it will.
They got to do a lot to fix that. They got to do a lot. Yeah.
Something that I definitely got to talk about is John's death itself, because that's something that we haven't really talked about, and now that we're live, I can share my opinion with everyone else. But yeah, just the way they killed off John was trash. There was no build up to it. They shouldn't have killed him in the first place. I honestly think that it should have been June that they killed off, because John was always portrayed as an optimist, kind of like Alden in your show. He was always an optimist, and June was one of those characters that gave him a lot of hope. So you kill off June, and John can be the one to kill Virginia or Dakota or whatever, and that could send him down a dark path where he's just bloodthirsty, and there could be a character like Morgan that could have helped bring him back from that. That would have been, and then okay, no, don't bring back his dad. That was kind of stupid, especially with the way they did it. But yeah, that would have been so much more interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, so I personally don't mind that the kill came out of left field. I just don't like who did it, and it had no payoff. And it's a repeat of what we've already seen with Nick. That's what I think is the biggest problem with it, is that now we have two kids in the show. One of them who has redeemed himself in some way. I don't root for that. I don't even know what her name is, honestly. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But the girl that killed
Charlie.
Yeah, that's right. I don't personally care for her character, but I can watch her and be like, whatever. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to do that with Dakota, and she needs to go fucking quick. And she was in the show longer than she needed to be. And yeah, John's death was one of the final straws for me, where I was like, I don't even give a fuck about the show at this point. But I'm still watching.
Well, another thing is, earlier in that episode, John, he wanted to die because he was so overstricken with guilt over the death of Janice, which I think is kind of bullshit that he would really give up everything he had created with June and all those other characters just because of Janice, a character that the audience didn't really know. And so that sent him down on a downward spiral to where he wanted to die for the entire episode. Because like I said before, John was always portrayed as an optimist.
Yeah, I know, I totally forgot about the Janice stuff. Yeah, I don't know about that show, man. It started off so good too, or at least was promising, and we all know where it nosedived, and it's when they decided to do a time jump and bring Morgan into the show. So that's what we're stuck with now. Hey, King Devin. welcome to the live stream. Yeah, this is going to take me forever to build. There's no way I'm finishing this tonight. If
How
I was...
many pieces is it?
That's a great question. It is, let's see, 2,545 pieces.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of plastic we're talking about.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm sure I could probably just build the ship. Yeah, you can. So yeah, you could theoretically just build the ship out of this. It's not in order though. So you like build part of the ship and then you put it on and then you build some more of like the base plate area and then you build another part of the ship. But I want to just I figure I might as well just build. I liked even though like there's some sets where I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep this around. I like to build it, you know, just to say I did it. There have been sets I've just parted out immediately. Like the only one I could think of off the top of my head right now is the Spider-Man Venom Mech thing that came with Spider-Gwen. This was the first time she was in a set. Yeah. So I got that because of that. I started building the mech, and actually, I have it somewhere. I think it's like right here. If I can get it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Oh. Oh, God. I just threw an extra piece in here somewhere. Yeah, this is all I built was the torso of the mech for Venom, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not doing the rest of this. I think I might have built whatever the Spider-Man vehicle or whatever was at that time for it. But yeah, I just parted out the rest and I threw that torso piece in. And then the other one I was thinking of was the Hulk versus Red Hulk. I didn't even touch that thing. I just got the figures out and parted it out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other sets that I did that with off the top of my head, but I don't think it would have to be like a city set or something that had like a lot of pieces that were more useful elsewhere, but yeah, I can't think of any right now. Okay.
Yeah, a set that I've been kicking around the idea of maybe getting is the Eternals Rise of the Domo ship, because originally I didn't really care that much for the Eternals set. The only one that I was planning on getting was like the $25 set, you know, the one I'm talking about with like the light-skinned guy with the goatee, like that exclusive head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only planning on getting that set, but I was at the Lego store recently. I mean, there isn't a Lego store anywhere near me. It's like an hour away, but I was there at the mall that it was a part of recently, and I saw how spacious, because I had one of the sets on display, and I saw how spacious it was, and I was thinking that it could be used as like a decent sewer setting for like some kind of underground cavern. Something like that.
I'd have to look at the set to
I'm
see what you're talking about.
It because it's like $90.
Yeah, because isn't it like it's you're talking about the one that looks like a triangle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the inside or I've really looked at it much. Yeah, I thought about the only so obviously like that one has some like good head molds. One of them I already have because of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
But I thought about it and I was like, honestly, I'll probably just buy them on Bricklink, the figures, or at least the heads and stuff, because like the torsos aren't that great. They're kind of, you know, like they're that space kind of stuff. Nothing that I feel like I really care to use anything for. And the only one that I would think was kind of cool to get was the Celestial one. I'm forgetting the name of it. But it's like the $50 set with the Celestial.
Oh, yeah.
That one I thought was kind of neat, but other than that, yeah. I wasn't too, like, So I watched Eternals on Disney Plus. It's like one of the Shang-Chi and Eternals are like the only two Marvel movies I didn't go to the movie theaters for. But I I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I thought it was at least for Eternals, Shang-Chi was all right. Um, Eternals I thought was better than I anticipated it to be. I thought it wasn't going to be that great. The plot twist in it you could see coming from a mile away, but yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but
I haven't yet. No.
yeah, the plot twist you'll see it coming from a mile away. it's pretty blatant, but it was a good watch. It was fun to watch. So it had some good comedic elements. Kingo, I think his name is. He was pretty funny. I'd like to get him his minifigure because he's got one of those tan flesh color heads, and those are not easy to come by. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still definitely up in the air if I'll actually get the Rise of the Dome or not, because I'm still trying to wait until March 1st when the new Lego Harry Potter sets come out, and there's also the new Lego City Hospital that I'd like to get at some point.
Yeah, the hospital, it's under $20, but I know I'm going to get it at some point. I'll probably get it by the end of the year. I really want to get that PlayStation. Not that I care for a PlayStation, but it's mostly because of that freaking garbage truck. This is the problem I run into is I am a sucker for some of these vehicles in those city sets, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get it just because of that. And yeah, I'm gonna probably just bite the bullet for the police station. But yeah, the hospital looks great. I think that's a great set. It's just a little expensive. So
yeah, it is. I'm looking now. I think the last City set I got was like that $20 Caravan RV set that they came out with not too long ago.
I don't think I got that one because I have a couple of the older ones, and I think the only Caravan that I got recently was the creator one, that you could build.
Yeah. It
came out like last year or something. It was like $60. You could do like the it was like the van with the like the, I'm blanking, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Surprised you haven't got it yet, because I remember you told me that you're kind of a sucker for RVs or like vehicles with standing room in them.
Yeah, I am, and now I have so many of them that I'm pretty content. Okay, this is such a confusing build real quick for these palm trees. These palm trees are kind of confusing. Yeah, I like the standing room in them, but like recently with my stop motions, I haven't really used them. Like the best one ever. I don't know if I don't think you do have this one, but it's the Creator RV that I've used a lot in a lot of these stop motions. You know, it was that one's like the definitive freaking mobile home build, and I love it. It's great, but yeah.
Are you talking about the one that has like the canopy over the front of it outside?
Yeah, it's got the yellow canopy. It's like white with like red and dark blue stripes on the side.
Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't have that one, but I know that you've used it quite a few times.
Yeah, I really like that one. That one's a great set. It's definitely one of my favorite creator sets in quite some time.
Yeah, so funny. So I actually, when episode 12 of season 11 of your show came out, I actually had to watch it while I was at at work because I work on Sundays, so I had to watch it during my lunch break. And I mean, it was still enjoyable to watch, but it's just a little strange.
Yeah, I've watched your show. I forget where I've done it. I've done it on my phone or something before somewhere. And yeah, it is always weird. I prefer just watching YouTube on like my computer. It's just what I'm so used to now. But yeah, it is a strange thing to do sometimes with that.
But yeah, no, the episode was good.
Yeah, I've been waiting to get that one out for, quite some time. I mean, that was kind of like the penultimate episode. Because obviously next episode, not to like give away too much, but it's gonna be cow focused, like I've said, and it's it's not gonna be dealing with a lot of the elements for my show per se. It's gonna have some characters in it. It's gonna tie in a little bit, but it's definitely like a cow episode. It's gonna pay homage to your show a little bit more, and then we'll wrap things up in the finale, which if everything goes well, it's gonna be a pretty good finale. It should be longer. I have had to cut several scenes in the second half. Obviously, like the time frames have been a lot shorter, which I haven't been the happiest about, but I haven't had the time, and I already it's already been the show's been pushed off so much, and I want to get the 11th season done, and so it's like getting rid of some of these scenes that kind of were like a little redundant, just generic talking scenes that I was like, well, yeah, I could do it, but it's not really contributing too much, or like I'm gonna have a similar scene like this happen later on, and so like it's like why rehash it? So that's what I've been doing. I There was going to be some scenes in this upcoming episode that were going to deal with the sanctuary again and kind of the aftermath of like what Trevor did, but I scrapped it, and so those scenes will be in the finale now because like I said, I wanted to have this upcoming episode more focused on Cal, since I felt like that payoff was much needed. So yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
I've been noticing that we're getting close to day 2000 in the timeline, so I'm thinking that something big is definitely going to happen on day 2000.
Yeah, and in hindsight, I would have spaced this out a little bit better because I did do some slight rewrites, and so the day 2000 would have probably fell where episode 12 was if I was being smart. But that there is some stuff coming up here pretty quick, and I we'll see. There's going to be some good stuff in the finale, because yeah, I don't want to give it too much away, obviously, but we're gonna get some of the payoff that we've been kind of watching over the course of the second half.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I know that's one of those things that I've stuck with, and it's a love-hate thing with the the day time frame that I do. It's just something I did from the beginning. I know I've talked to you about this before, but something I did in the beginning, and I just kept going, and it doesn't feel right to take it out. Like what I will do now is like when I do, because I'll do the then now scenes. I won't usually put what day it is unless it's like really important now. Like there's going to be some flashbacks for Cal in this upcoming episode, and I don't specify when it is just because I know between your episodes or your show and my show, there is some bleed over, and I don't want to like confine it to exactly a certain time frame. But yeah, like one sec. Yeah, like it's gonna take place, you know, like within a couple months or so before, Hamilton showed up at the community of Hamilton. So yeah, kind of like a little bit after Tobias left Hamilton, and like a little bit before Hamilton captured Alden, and so it'll kind of be like what Hamilton, not so much what he was doing, but the fact that he found Cal out there and how that happened. So.
Well, yeah, because when Cal left my series at the end of season 5, timeline-wise, my series was 2.5 years into the outbreak, and your series by this point is like what, 5.5 years in?
Yeah, it's about 5.5 or a little bit under 5.5. So yeah, that was kind of one of those things. Like I said, I was trying to be cognizant of, and so like obviously Cal's gonna make his way down towards North Carolina, Virginia area. It is fairly close to Pennsylvania, but yeah. So I tried to make sure any flashbacks were basically weren't gonna, you know, create any errors with that. But yeah, I think people will like it. For people who watch both shows, there's gonna be some stuff that some you know, good little nods. I think people will like. So, and at the end of the day, what I would say is hopefully it would strengthen your show with this, because you know, you don't have to spend the time to acknowledge where Cal was or anything. Obviously, if he ever comes back in your show, it would be brought up in some degree, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I've actually had a few people have asked me like why I chose Pennsylvania of all locations to have my series set in. I think like my main idea for having my series set in Pennsylvania, I got the idea from the video game Left 4 Dead, because that's primarily where that game is set in.
Yeah. Yeah, I never played Left 4 Dead. I own them because they're so cheap, like on Steam, but I just never got around to playing them. Yeah, honestly, I mean the reason I chose, like obviously it was Georgia first. It was because it was basically, you know, based off the show, and it was taking place around there. It's supposed to be a little bit more connected at that time, which has changed over time, but yeah, I don't know. And then, you know, mine just eventually got up to North Carolina and kind of Virginia area, and it's just been there ever since. So.
And then, yeah, with my series being set in Pennsylvania, when I introduced the train station in season 3, it was actually loosely based off of the Harrisburg train station, which is an actual train station in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I actually had to do a little bit of research to make sure that I was, I guess, geographically correct.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot, making sure stuff was geographically correct. I tried to like recreate things back in the day. But yeah, I mean, so like there's a certain place in Virginia in the next episode that I was researching. Obviously, it doesn't look anything like it because it's in Lego, and I didn't try to focus on it too much. But there's a certain place where I was like, okay, is there this in this area? Or where would it be? And so you'll see what I mean, and the fans will too when it comes out on Sunday. But there is a certain place that Cal goes, and stuff happens at. So bags too.
Yeah, no, because I still have the train. Obviously, I used the Hogwarts Express. I still have it, but it's definitely a little banged up because I've had it for a while.
Yeah, I actually found my Hogwarts Express, and it needs to be dusted off. I'll actually show the stream. It's got cobwebs on it because I left it in a windowsill at my parents' place, and yeah, so there's cobwebs all over it, which is pretty disgusting. Yeah, it needs to be kind of cleaned up. So, yeah, it's like the only train I own.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully that changes someday, but not right now.
Yeah, and then of course I don't have an awful lot of boats either. That's why. And then I've also thought it might be difficult to do a stop motion that's where the character's like out on the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about it a lot because I've thought about doing scenes in Lego The Walking Dead with water, and there's some scrapped content that I never eventually did that were gonna involve like water scenes, and I tried a few different things like using actual water and building like a little base plate. I remember building like a little container thing on a base plate. And it worked, but it still leaked a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I just basically use the blue base plates for that now. It's just easier to do that. And yeah, it's hard to kind of do the swimming animation. Kind of have to know your limitations, and just go from there.
Yeah, because I know that one of the special effects that we have at our disposal is like an underwater effect where it has like the blurry vision and bubbles.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that.
I've been kicking around the idea of maybe using it at some point. I'm just not sure when.
Yeah, like
or how.
You can totally do it. It's possible. It's just knowing the limitations and stuff of it, and what you can and can't do with it. Because like I said, I would like to, and obviously use the ship, do some sort of pirate stop motion. That is going to require a lot of water scenes, or at least putting a ship on a quote-unquote ocean, which is basically just going to be base plates. But, like, there's lazy ways of doing it and more detailed ways of doing it, so...
Yeah.
Switch this around.
Have you had the chance to watch the latest episode of my series yet?
Yeah, the one that just came out this last Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm totally blanking though right now, because I've been rewatching some of season 5, obviously because I'm dealing with Cal, so now it's all blending together for me, and oh man. Okay, yeah. So Emma got in that fight, and then it was made out to that possibly Ray killed her or shot her in that scene, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I like the
whether or not Emma actually survived. Well, have to wait till this coming episode coming out this Friday to see if Ray's actually got a plan of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah. Me personally, I think she'll be fine, but I know what you mean by it.
We'll see.
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you kill her off, I mean, good props for you, dude. You proved me wrong. you go and change it real quick. I go, yeah, she's dead. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to the next episode because that's your mid-season finale of sorts.
Oh, it is.
And seeing how that pans out. Reading
there's
the
a lot of
synopsis.
crazy stuff that goes down in that episode. A lot of stuff that, like, I'm not sure how people are gonna feel about some of the stuff that happens in this next episode, but
I was gonna say, I feel like that episode is gonna be a pretty good one, and I wouldn't even be surprised. And I don't know anything about this, obviously, so anybody watching, I don't know shit about it, but I wouldn't even be surprised if you don't even reveal what happened to Emma next episode, and it's just a bottleneck episode of sort. That's something I would probably do, honestly, if it was me writing it. That's something I would do. But yeah, let's see. LME Production said I tried doing swimming animations once, but then realized I wasn't Forest Fire. Yeah, same. That is so true. Man, I mean, you could do some pretty cool scenes with this little bass play. I don't know if you're seeing the actual live stream. I know you're trying to make sure there's no like echoing, but
yeah.
I mean, I could probably do something with this like little beach scene at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna not keep the ship on here.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Yeah, you could definitely get away with using that little strip of beach for something.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of wood pieces that you could, like that, or the insinuation of wood on this, I think you can get away with. 1 sec, I gotta go let my dog in. It's just 1 second.
All right. So, you guys excited to see that new Batman movie? No, I am. Been waiting a long time for it. Ever since that first trailer dropped for it back in August of 2020, I think. I mean, to be fair, I was a little bit skeptical on finding out that Robert Pattinson was the upcoming Batman, because the only thing I really knew him from was Twilight. But that first trailer that dropped pretty much wiped out all doubts that I had for it. And yeah, it's coming out less than a month. So yeah, I've been getting pretty anxious for it because Batman is definitely one of, if not my absolute favorite superhero. And it's of course been a long time since we've last gotten a live action Batman. So yeah, definitely excited for it.
I'm back, by the way. Yeah, I was a little hesitant at first too with Robert Pattinson, but I think he'll do fine. It's just gonna obviously be a different take.
Yeah,
he's kind of a little edgier looking as Bruce Wayne, but I think it can work. I'm not sure about Catwoman just yet. I know they're kind of like making it like it's her origin, but seeing her in that like weird balaclava thing, not too sure about.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Dang it, I messed this up.
Yeah, no, like I was just saying, I'm definitely excited about it because Batman is definitely like my favorite superhero. And it's, of course, been a long time since we've last gotten a live-action Batman, like a standalone live-action Batman movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to say Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. But Batman, I think, is I mean, it's everybody's fucking favorite favorite DC character, I feel like, but it's my favorite DC character, superhero. So
yeah.
So with you being at Walmart and stuff, what kind of sales do you have at your store? Because my store, when I went today, they got all of video and like Super Mario on sale, but nothing else. I'm like, oh man. This is all that's on clearance. It's like, all right.
I don't know. I really don't know what's on clearance at my Walmart right now.
Yeah,
Again, I haven't really been buying from Walmart recently. All the Lego that I've been buying recently is off of Lego.com.
That's right. I remember you saying that. Yeah. Hey, don't do that. My dog's trying to eat cardboard in here now. But, yeah, I mean, I know we talked about this before as well, but, yeah, I mean, buying from Lego is just easier. It might take a little bit longer. I don't know for you because you're on the East Coast, so it might be a little bit quicker for you, but it takes like at least a week and a half to 2 weeks to get Lego sets from Lego.com because they ship out from like Illinois or somewhere like that, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's Connecticut. I can't remember.
Yeah, usually when I order from them, it takes like about a week, maybe sometimes a little under a week.
Yeah, it's got to be it because you're East Coast then. Because yeah, it does not take that. Like, I'd be lucky if it came in like a week. It's the only thing I don't like about buying from Lego.com, and that's the only thing I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be waiting a couple weeks for this. So if it's something I want now, I'll buy from Amazon. But yeah.
Something that I actually remembered a long time ago when I was working on season 2 of my Lego The Walking Dead series. It was around the time that the 2019 Lego Harry Potter sets were coming out, where they had like the slightly older versions of the kids from like Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
And I planned on using the new head print that they introduced for Hermione to use for Emma. But I had to, of course, wait until the sets came out. And that is something that because I definitely do have some regrets, I guess, from the earlier seasons. And one of those regrets would be I feel like I aged up Emma a little bit too early, because it was only like the second half of season 2 where I gave her like the older face print and regular minifigure legs. Looking at it now, I probably should have waited until like the end of season 3 to age her up.
Yeah, I know the aging thing for me too has been an issue with like John and stuff. I think the biggest one was with, oh man, it's been so long. I think his name was Alex, Stacy's son. It's just hard to do babies and like kids, in Lego like that. But yeah, John was one of those ones where like he had the Luke Skywalker head for like the younger years, which would obviously be changed now because there's just so many options. So many more options you can do. And yeah, and then I went to Marty Mcfly, but that head is not easy to come by. And it did cost me a little bit extra to get like a couple more of them. Because he's only in so many sets, or he's only in like 2 sets. But yeah, and then now I just use the generic like Rebel Trooper head that they've been using a lot lately. And I personally like it for John. And yeah, there's not a lot of emotion I can do with it, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Kind of sometimes the limitations of Lego.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a little weird when both John and Trevor are in the same scenes, because they both have the same head. I mean, John's of course missing an eye, and Trevor has half his face burnt off, but of course it's still the same original head used for both of them.
John is, how old is he right now? He's supposed to be 17. King Devin just asked that. But yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I've run into that with like a lot of different characters. There's some characters that have like the same head. Like, like one of the most generic ones is, it's the one I used for Brad, but I think I also used it for Greg in Become the Walking Dead. Like that head is kind of that brooding face, but it's super fucking generic. There's so many of those heads out there. So, But yeah, I will say a little Easter egg or a little sneak peek for you guys is that John will be getting a makeover here pretty soon, and we might see that at the finale. But yeah, we're gonna start picking up speed here with the timeline. But yeah.
And then I just thought another kind of regret that I had with the earlier seasons was having Ray lose one of his arms, because I wanted to do something different with like my Negan-like character in my series. So I thought having him lose an arm would be a cool and creative way of doing that. But pretty quickly I ended up regretting it, and that's why almost immediately I gave him the prosthetic.
Yeah, I know we only can do so much of that. Yeah. No, I get you with that. I'm trying to think because I don't really have any characters like. I mean, so like I obviously had Mason lose his leg. That was kind of a challenge. I had to custom mold that piece into because it was like the peg leg, but I had to like mold it with clay into the leg. And so it was kind of tricky at first to like even it out. I had to like push it into I put it on studs and I tried to push it into the clay and let it sit there for a while. Like as much as I could. It's hard to explain because you like didn't want to get stuck and stuff, and you had to mold the clay around it. But it came out fairly well. Obviously, I had Mason lose. I made him lose his leg right before he was getting killed off. I knew he was getting killed off. Did it make my filming for the rest of the season harder? Oh yeah, it was a lot harder to film Mason. And a feature, I'm not sure if everybody noticed it, but I did make Mason favor using the peg leg, because that's kind of how you have to do it. You have to use it first. So for all those scenes when he's walking, he isn't walking with the normal walk motion of one leg goes forward, then the other leg goes forward. It's only the peg leg going forward first in all those scenes, which was just like a little subtle thing that I decided to do because I wanted it to be kind of realistic. King Devin said, I like the addition of Cal too. I wonder what he's been up to in all those years. Yeah, he's been up to some stuff. He's got a couple years of solitude with him at least, because Hamilton wasn't Hamilton, or at least the Hamilton that he turns into, until after he got Tobias's journal and saw the line, to live is to suffer is find meaning in the suffering. That was something I thought of too, is that people might have got confused and thought that Hamilton actually wrote that on the wall. I was thinking about that the other day, but yeah, that's just a little side note. But yeah, basically Cal's going to pop up after Hamilton has gotten separated from Tobias. Whether he has a group or not with him at that time is to be determined, but it's going to be between like that kind of 6 year or 6 month time gap that there was there. So
would you say that you have any regret? Well, I mean, I know that you kind of look down upon the first 8 seasons of your show, but would you say that you've had any kind of regrets while working on your series? Like, did you do something, and then after brooding on it for a while, you were like, you know what? I kind of wish that I didn't do that, or I wish I waited a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, obviously, animation-wise, it's rough. I wish I just spent more time, or I had the expertise that I did then. There's things in the show that I wish I fleshed out a little bit more, or didn't follow. I mean, basically, I'm sure you've noticed, and I'm sure the fans have noticed. I know I've read some of the comments on your comment section where they say you're kind of copying the show. And that's something that I've always had to deal with too, is people being like, oh, you're just copying the show and, it's not original. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to mirror the show. It's paying homage. I'm sure the same way for you. It's paying homage to the show which is the show is the reason we're doing this. And so like, yeah, there's things that I regret. I wish I maybe did a little bit like more diverse stuff with Tobias. I think it would have been better to not have been so closely knit to Georgia and Atlanta for the first couple seasons. Brutus and Lucas are kind of similar, in my personal opinion. They both do some of the same stuff, which is stuff that I wish that I wish I kind of diversified them a little bit. A little side note tangent. Lucas actually wasn't going to be the villain for season 4 and 5 initially. It was going to be a different character, and this is granted, this was filmed, but this was changed by the time I got to it. So like this is like a rough draft thing, but I'm sure you and fans wouldn't mind hearing this. But basically, I was going to use one of the Obi-Wan Kenobi heads, and so he was going to be Ginger, but he's going to be in this group in Savannah, Georgia, because initially after the farmhouse got overrun in season 4, the group was going to go towards Savannah, Georgia. And like I actually built this whole hospital scene, and there's going to be this, for the time granted, it wasn't going to be up to the scale that I would do now. I would like to do something similar to it in the future, but do it better, obviously. But I was going to have this whole hospital and like have this, kind of like them searching through the hospital and stuff. But yeah, that was kind of like a side thing of like Lucas wasn't actually going to be a villain, and he wasn't actually going to be existent. It was going to be a different villain, and it was going to be like a group of kind of marauders and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things I would have changed over time. Like, I feel like season 6 was kind of a slower season, and there wasn't a lot going on. I would say that season was kind of like my entry into like wanting to do like, like crime stuff. Because it was dealing with like the murders of the women and stuff. And it was kind of like one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm just doing it in this show. It's probably not the most entertaining for a zombie show. And so like that stuff I probably would have changed, or I would have altered in some way. I felt like season 6, there was a lot of just like random stuff that I decided to do. Like I added, I don't even remember their names anymore off the top of my head, but I added that couple in that came in the middle of season 5 and 6 just for them to get killed off. And I don't remember exactly, but like there was a lot of like just like stuff with it that like I just was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and film this and stuff. So honestly, so what I would say is I'm fairly confident that couple wasn't even really in the episodes as much until after the fact, and I just added the scenes in. And so if you look at it, some of their scenes are just them talking to each other, and they're not actually what I filmed those episodes, and then I put it back in because I was like, well, I want to kill the guy off now and have him be one of the victims of this of Gage and stuff. And so I'm pretty sure they were just like a total like second just afterthought thing. But yeah, I don't know if that completely answers your question. Season 8 was like very cut and dry, all at war. So that's something I would have probably changed. But yeah, I mean, once season 9 came around, like I was trying to like really like reinvent the show. And King Devin said season 9 personally is my favorite season of the show. And yeah, I would say season 9 is probably one of my. It's definitely up there. I'm not sure which season I like more, season 9 or 10. Probably 9 because there's so many great episodes, and like I'm willing to say like I really brought my A game for season 9 because I knew what I wanted to do, and there was like I knew Mason was going out from the get-go of that season, and then of course People were like, "Oh, you're doing that because Rick died or is getting killed off or leaving the show." I was like, "Nope, I've actually had this planned for quite some time. That came out before." So, yeah, that's my little rant on that.
It's kind of a weird coincidence because around that same time, Rick left the show, and then shortly after that, he died in the comics.
That is what it was, yeah. Rick died in the comics right before, like a month before I released that episode. I was like, oh, man. I was like, that's awesome. Now people are going to think I did that for some reason last minute. And I even changed the ending, you know? I freaking like Mason was gonna get shot in the scene, you know, in the cafeteria, and there wasn't gonna be this whole battle at the church, and it was gonna be a shorter episode, and yeah, so like I changed it and I like made sure it was like a proper send off to Mason because I wasn't satisfied with it. Let's see, King Devin said it's funny how you made that solo Tobias episode, and then Negan had the solo episode after. Yeah, I mean, there's been some times where there's been some like of the opposite happening, where like I do it first. But to be fair, like Here's Negan was out in comics, so like that was out for a while. But yeah, I mean that Tobias episode's like one of my favorite episodes. I think it was like such a great episode because I just don't think people were expecting it, especially in the middle. I think people were expecting like Tobias to be like this real threat, even though yeah he's kind of like Negan, but like that was my thing. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be like my Negan character, but I am gonna change it, and the way he gets to like being this anti-hero is completely different than what the show did or what the comics did. So.
Yeah, without giving too much away, obviously so far in season 7 of my series, I've been putting a lot of emphasis towards Ray and Sam because both of them are currently with the Zodiacs at this time, and obviously based on their interactions in the last couple of episodes, especially in episode 4, when Ray was saying stuff like "You'll never be able to replace my daughter."
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's possible that might change later down the line.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I want to say, from my recollection, that they do kind of look similar, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
Yeah, actually.
I was gonna say that, you know, not that like limitations or whatever in Lego, but you know, like they do kind of look similar. Like it could be like, you know, his daughter it could be his daughter, you know, looks wise, but yeah, I you know, like we're both storytellers with it, so like obviously like stuff that's being put in is foreshadowing stuff, and my limited knowledge of your show, because I try to stay out of it as much as possible so I can enjoy it too. I try to do the same for you with my show. I try to like tell you the broad strokes with some of it, but yeah, I mean, one of the things I was noticing, because I had to go back and rewatch some of your episodes some more just so I can make sure continuity wise things were correct for this upcoming episode, but I forgot how soon Ken has been in, like how long he's been in the show.
Yeah,
because like he's been in it for 3 seasons technically, you know, because he's been in since season 5, and this is, you know, season 7 now, and that's an interesting thing. And I remember you saying he was kind of a secondary, like he's kind of like a background character being set up in season 5. I remember when we were working on Brian's departure, like that was being brought up when we were talking to each other about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's just funny because now we're like, you know, 2 years later and he's still around, and
yeah,
that's something that I you know, I wanted to do with like certain villains and stuff, but yeah, yeah.
And then I know that a lot of people have talked about Ray and Lucy how they formed a good friendship with each other, and people are hoping to see them get together at some point, and whether that actually happens or not is left to be seen. But
yeah. Yeah, I know that's the only thing that sucks about the shows is that some of these characters, they share the likeness of each other. So like some people, when you see them introduced in other ones, are like, "Oh, is that Lucy?" Because I want to say people said that about like Isabel when I introduced her, or it was Nicole. I can't remember which one. But yeah, I'm like missing a bag somewhere. There it is. Finally now just getting around to building one of the middle part of the ship. How long have we been going for? Hour and a half? It's not too bad.
yeah, I know that some people have also pointed out how similar Ray and Tobias look now, because they both have the same hairstyle, same jacket, and they both have the painted on beards with a few gray hairs.
I will say there is a acknowledgement to that in the next episode. And same for Cal and Trevor. I decided to poke fun at that a little bit, so I think the fans will enjoy that. Alright, let's see. What the heck?
And speaking of that beard, I remember how much of a pain it was to paint on, because I was still fairly new to painting with minifigures after you had recommended me the apple barrel paint.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy to paint beards onto heads that already have stubble. You basically use the stubble as an outline, but it's difficult to try to paint a beard onto a clean-shaven head.
Yeah, and I want to say that, like, I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm not going to say that I'm, like, a pro by any means, but, like, you know, I've kind of diversified with, like, torsos, like, trying to, like, do, like, certain shirts, yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I felt like when I did Tobias, though, and I've been using that same, like, beard for, like, a couple years now, so I haven't had to worry about it, but, yeah, like, I felt very impressed by how I did it. It's not perfect, but I remember that was, like, one of my struggles when I was doing it originally, is that, yeah, the beards were not easy to do if there's no stubble. Because I had to paint a lot of beards for Mason in the past.
Yeah, it's obviously easy to paint on blood, like the character's getting beat up. You can just
do whatever.
You still have to have somewhat of an outline for it, but for the most part, you can just go all over the place with it.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do is add the scarring over time for some of these things, and then, like, looking back and being like, okay, yeah, this scene in this fight, this is the scar that has been on this character for so long. That's what I like to do. One sec, I gotta go downstairs real quick again.
All right.
You're right back.
But yeah, if any of you guys watching this are interested in attempting to customize your minifigures with paint, we definitely recommend using apple barrel paint, and use like a push pin or something to get the details down, because I mean it's a little difficult to try to get a grasp on the push pin, because much like the minifigure itself, it's small, but it's definitely manageable, to say the least. might be a little difficult at first, but you'll get the hang of it in due time.
Alright, I'm back.
You don't even get me started on how long it took for me to paint all the Zodiac masks on all those heads.
Yeah, the Whisperer masks for me were not easy to do. But I felt like at least the first couple they turned out really well. Like the ones that I introduced in the Tobias episode, those ones were great. I loved them.
Yeah, I mean, I knew pretty much from the beginning that I wanted to use the hidden side ghoul heads as the Zodiac's mask, but I didn't want to just use the ghoul heads the way they were, so
right.
I painted them up a little bit with like black, white, dark gray paint, and then I even added some little black X's to resemble the stitching across each of the masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that you were much more limited with the Marauders because of, there's only so many heads that you could completely paint up to look like a mask over a character's head.
Yeah. And initially I was going to do it for each character, but that became kind of like, it became quite tedious. Or it was going to become a lot of work because I don't have all those heads multiple times, and like once that's the thing, if I was gonna try to get that paint off, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So like that's the thing, like, so when I try to do these paintings on certain things, I try to buy them on Bricklink if it's like a more rare head, just because I don't want to use my only head and then be like, okay, I'm gonna try to scratch this off without messing up the head itself. So
well, yeah, that's obviously why we both of us, we tend to get duplicates of the same head for some of the bigger characters, because a character might get beat up or get dirt on their face or have scars afterwards, and obviously you wouldn't want to use the same head over and over again for all those different things.
Yeah, like Mason's head, I had to buy like at least 5 or 6, because over time, let's see if I can find it. Over time, those heads get the paint does bleed on it. So even when you use the blood, it bleeds onto it. And Blaze Films asked if the apple barrel paint is the same stuff we use for blood effects on the characters' faces. And yeah, and that's what I'm saying right now is that they bleed. And if I can find a good example and I'm able to show it on the live stream, I will. But yeah, like anytime with some of these characters I know are going to be main characters, I try to buy a ton of their heads as much as I can on Bricklink. Like for example, I bought a bunch more heads of one because of Cal, but 2 because it's Scott's head from Bloody City. These heads are not cheap. These heads are like $2 at least. So I have like 6 of them now because I had to use at least 2 of them for Cal. And then I have 7, I think. So I'm using one on Scott right now, and then I have 3 backups in case. And then same for the other head I was thinking is for Cameron from Lego Become the Walking Dead. I have a couple of his heads, and his head's not cheap because it's Ezra from the Rebels Lego set. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely wise of me to choose the Hermione head for Emma, because that head's been in quite a few sets.
Oh yeah, dude, you got lucky with that head, because there is literally so many of that head in so many sets, and there's just so many different like expressions and age, you know, for each of them. It's just it's ridiculous. It's it's ridiculous. I don't even think I really use her head that much in any of my shows, and then I think about it. And
yeah, I'm looking at them now. I have like 7 or 8 of that same head.
Yeah. Let's see. Blaze Films said he's trying to figure out what to use for blood effects besides fake blood or Play-Doh. Yeah, Play-Doh, I mean, is like the easiest one to use. I use raspberry jam sometimes. That's sometimes the blood spatter effect I use for like Tobias bashing in skulls and stuff. I use it sparingly because it's not fun to clean up, and
yeah, it gets sticky.
It gets sticky really quick. So when I do use it, I try to make sure I clean it up really quick. And then also I don't eat jam or anything. I don't use it for anything. So like that molds pretty quick if I'm not using it a lot. So and I don't use it a lot. So I have to usually buy a new thing after 2 or 3 uses because I don't use it all. But and I try to buy the smallest one too. But what are you gonna do?
What the hell, man? Why aren't you using your jam?
I know, right? It just, you know, just takes so much freaking time to clean up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, why aren't you using it on like the damn sandwiches?
Oh yeah, dude, I don't freaking make sandwiches here. I'm too lazy for that. I'm not a jam person. I don't know if that's an Eastern thing. You people from the East Coast, but I ain't having jam over here. So
you slap some peanut butter on one side, slap some jam on the other side. It takes like 2 minutes.
We use a thing called jelly over here. Jam's, you know, the more thick version. You call it pop over there too, huh? Soda.
No, we call it soda.
Oh, okay. You're the normal people over there. Okay, because I have cousins up in like Washington, and I know it's like a Midwest thing, like Minnesota and that. They call it pop.
Yeah, no, that's weird. We've had some people that call water fountains water bubblers, and we're like, nah, that's weird. Stop that shit.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, don't do that. But yeah, I'll just say for people in the chat, if you have any questions for Aaron and I, just ask them. I'm trying to read them as I see them. And yeah, just trying to build this set as slow as I can. It's probably the slowest I've built a Lego set, but I'm okay with it. In the future, what I'll do is I'll probably just choose a smaller set. Because this set's gonna have to be built after a little bit off screen. I'm feeling like, and I'm missing some pieces somewhere. Like I have extra pieces that I shouldn't, so I missed a step. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm missing like a good. That makes so much sense. I'm missing like a whole freaking support beam. Has there been any sets you've built recently? No, that you can recall?
Because, like I said before to you personally, I made a huge purchase of some new sets on January 1st when they came out. I'm trying to remember everything I bought. I got like the Picnic in the Park, the Horse Transporter, the Doctor Strange set, the Snow Trooper Battle Pack, and I think that's everything. Might be missing like 1 or 2. Oh yeah, the Microfighter Razor Crest is another one that I got.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't got too many stuff recently, but I mean that's kind of a lie. I've built some stuff. I've been trying to build stuff as I go along. Yeah, I want to get some of those city sets. Those are like some of the big ones that I want to get right now.
Yeah.
But the main ones that I've gotten recently and built, I've been trying to build them as I go along because I've got, you know, like over 60 sets that I still need to build, or at least, you know, the majority of them I still need to build. But some of them I'm keeping in the box, just might as well. I built the Seinfeld set I got like a couple weeks ago. I got the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness set because the cape's cool and that head might be able to be utilized for Vince in my other show. And then I got the Jurassic World, the T-Rex fossil set, like $30 set, because I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
I got Corner Garage when I went to Disneyland back in December, because it was completely out of stock online, but it was there because the Disneyland Lego store, the one in downtown Disney, down in Anaheim, is pretty. It's usually got like a lot of stuff in it. It's one of the. I don't know if it's one of the larger ones, but it's definitely one of the ones that has like the most diverse Lego stock in California. But they had that, and I was like, well, I'm gonna regret not picking that up, even though I don't really care for it. But it's grown on me. I finished building it last week, and it's grown on me. I like it a lot better than I thought I would. And then, yeah, I think that's all the sets. I got the Snow Trooper Battle Pack too, but yeah. Let's see. There's a question. So is yours and Aaron's universe in the same one? AMC Lego or AMC's The Walking Dead? I remember some hints that your series is in the Walking Dead universe. So this has been changed over time, but I remember you saying, Aaron, that your show was supposed to be separate, but then once I talked to you, we decided to put them together. My show was initially in the AMC Walking Dead universe, but I've drifted away from that, and I'm willing to say that now it's in the Lego The Walking Dead universe, and it's separate. And I would like to say that Rick and them might be out there somewhere doing something like like they could be in the Lego universe somehow, but I like to say that it's separate. So like I obviously like I had the Whispers in it and I had T-Dog in it, so like there is some hints towards it, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember, again, the whole reason why I made an account on Lego.com was because of those the Batman sets, because I was going to get them on Walmart.com, but they sold out immediately, so I just made an account on Lego.com and ordered all of them there, because I really wanted all of them.
What I will say is that usually it's the opposite. Usually Lego.com sells out of everything first, and you can find it pretty much anywhere else. And Lego does not restock their website very often for some reason. I feel like that kind of hurts their sales, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, my philosophy with it is if I'm going to buy an expensive set, I might as well just buy it from Lego.com and get the VIP points for it. Now, there's times where I'll buy $100 set or so, elsewhere. Oh yeah, that's the other set I built recently was the Chamber of Secrets. I bought that from Target because it's, like I said, Lego doesn't have it in stock, and they probably won't have it in stock again. But so that's my philosophy. If I'm gonna spend that much, might as well get the VIP points. I have like over $100 in VIP points right now that I need to spend, and I've just been kind of waiting because I'm eyeing the Disney Castle because it's gonna expire or be discontinued this year, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be really able to use this for any stop motions per se, but I'm a big Disney fan, and I know I'm gonna regret it if I don't get it. So I'm probably gonna use my VIP points towards that in the summer or something. But yeah.
I'm looking at some of the minifigures from the Batman sets, like specifically Batman himself. I just want to say I absolutely hate the new capes in the newer Lego sets, like the one-hole capes. I hate them so much. Like they don't sit flush with the minifigures right. They feel cheaper. Like I just do not like them. So
You don't like
I'm glad that I stocked up on the previous capes.
Oh, the capes. Okay. Yeah, the capes are kind of a weird thing. I like that they're cloth, but yeah, they kind of are weird. They're an acquired taste. I like Commissioner Gordon's torso. I'm gonna definitely pick that up. I'm gonna pick that up in the off Bricklink here because I can use that for Bloody City, and that's gonna be. I can't tell you how excited I am to like start working on that again. The second I'm done with this finale for The Walking Dead, I'm jumping straight on Bloody City. I've been writing so many outlines for case files and even for the second like major storyline, since I have the first one written up, and I'm just basically writing the script out right now so I can get episode 1's lines out pretty soon. But yeah. Let's see. Logan Freaky Deaky said, "Do you watch any other AMC shows like Into the Badlands? That show hit different to me." I never watched that. I'm not sure for Aaron. The only other AMC show I've really watched is Breaking Bad, and I watched the first season or 2 of Hell on Wheels. I don't know if there's any other AMC shows that aren't Walking Dead related that I've seen. It's cool that Zombie Gamer said it's cool that you and Aaron are building a Lego Walking Dead universe. Universes, your characters crossing over, really awesome. Can't wait for Bloody City. Definitely excited to be voicing it. Yeah, I'm excited to have people see Bloody City. It's gonna be pretty great. This upcoming storyline's gonna be pretty awesome, and Aaron has also done his own case file that I'm gonna actually do, but he wrote it, and it's mostly his idea that I'm gonna be making into one of the case files.
Might take a little while, but it will be out someday.
Yeah, it might take a while because the voice acting portion definitely makes it take longer, and that's why like right now I'm trying to like really get these lines out, so like if there is any delay with any voice actors, I have stuff to fall back on still, because I want it to be that, like, especially for when the Glasgow murders fully come out, I want it to be waiting on me, and so that's why I'm going to try to like really get out the Glasgow murders voice lines over the next like 2 months or so. And so I've been working on episode 1 and kind of like building that story with how Reed and Scott first get introduced to each other and become partners, and like setting up that dynamic, because they are different characters, and they go about things differently, and there's going to be some certain episodes and case files that are like really gonna like hone that in and like show that like Scott's willing to do whatever it takes to like get some of these criminals, but Reed is more by the books because he's newer and he just holds himself to a different standard.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good story. I think people are gonna really like it. I think it deals with some interesting concepts. So Yeah, and it's also to have voice actors for it, so.
Yeah, like I'm definitely trying my hardest to hold off on getting any new Lego sets until those new Harry Potter sets come out on March 1st.
Yeah. I know, I want to get the new Star Wars sets, even though they don't really benefit my shows, really. The only one that I really think I care to get for this upcoming wave, like fairly soon, in regards to like getting it really quick, would be the hospital portion. That's the only one that I really care to get at launch.
Yeah.
The books are cool. I know I can personally hold off on them.
Again, the only one that, because I'm definitely planning on getting the 2 classrooms as well as the hospital. Again, the only one that I'm still kind of on the fence about is the Hogwarts magical trunk. Just because I'm not really sure how much I could use that.
I like how many figures are in it and the diversity of hair colors and faces, but I'm willing to let that one pass me by. So.
Then again, it does have a lot of new head prints on like light skin and black minifigure heads, which is always nice to get because we don't see that very often.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was always so freaking hard to get those skin colors, and they were so expensive in the aftermarket. So I will give Lego that there is a lot more different heads, different head colors, and different looking heads, because there's a lot of generic looking heads too. And I get it, like the yellow heads are supposed to be, just it could be anybody, but I personally like the skin tone heads. So. Let's see. Zombie Gamer said, "Will you do another Lego the Friday 13th or make a different horror? Horror with a film with a different character. Yeah, I would like to. I've talked to Aaron about it. I know I've mentioned it. I would like to release the second part to Friday the 13th this year for May. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I want to work on Bloody City, but also part of me is like, I should be going towards what gets the views more, because that helps the channel at the end of the day. And so like Friday the 13th is done exceptionally well, better than I thought it would. It's just under like 10,000 views. It's like 8,400 or something, for being out for like a little over a year, and so that's great. But yeah, I mean, I already have most of the outline written for the second part. It's just whether I'm gonna have the time to get it filmed and out for voice actors in time for May 13th. So if it doesn't happen this upcoming Friday the 13th, it will definitely happen by January of next year, which is the next Friday the 13th, is what I'd say. All right, Aaron, is it just me, or is it annoying when you have in these when you're building a Lego set and then it does the ×2 thing? That drives me fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but when I was younger, I ran into like one of the worst ones where it was like something I had to build twice or 3 or 4 times. I think it was twice for this one, but it was like several pages down the line, and at that time I didn't look at the top of the upper corner, because like in this booklet it shows here ×2, but it was like a couple pages worth, and I'm like, wait, what? I have to go back? I was like, that's bullshit. Like I get the thought process with it, but that sucks.
Yeah. anytime that I have to like build two of something at the same time, like I just do it at the same time. I just put both of them together at the same time.
I do as well. I did not do it this time. I thought about it, but then I was like, I'll just won't do it this time. But yeah, most of the time I just do it at the same time. I get the two parts, put together, do it for both of them because I do not want to go back and do it. So, but gosh, it's annoying.
So yeah, I know that previously we discussed our thoughts on season 11 of the Walking Dead TV series, and I'm sure that people are wondering how we feel about it. To put it short, phrase it shortly to everyone, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, it's nothing to write home about, that's for sure. Pope was a very lackluster villain. Leah, very predictable, coming back. Not that really is a big deal, but she's not really a villain character either that I care about. I mean, Daryl hasn't had a fucking love interest for most of the show, and now we're giving him this stuff. I don't know. I try not to bitch and complain about some of it, but some of this shit, when you throw it at the wall, some of it sticks and some of it doesn't. And we all know which stuff doesn't stick. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd say that probably my two favorite episodes from season 11 so far are episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5 is like the episode where Aaron, Jerry, Lydia, and Carol went back to the remains of Hilltop to scavenge whatever supplies was left, while we cut back to Judith and her training the kids at Alexandria. And then, of course, episode 6 was the Connie and Virgil episode. And I think part of the reason why I liked those episodes so much is because they put more focus on, well, not only because the concepts were more interesting than what was going on with the Reapers, but they actually gave significant screen time to some of the side characters, because one of the biggest problems that I've had with season 11 so far is it's really only primarily focused on Carol's characters like Daryl, Maggie, Negan, and the characters that are combating the Reapers, pretty much.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Usually I don't like bottleneck episodes, but I think the one with Connie worked. I thought it was fine. I thought it worked. My biggest gripe, I know we've talked about this before, but is just the fact that the Commonwealth storyline is just being overshadowed by the Reapers, and the Commonwealth storyline is the end game for The Walking Dead. And when I heard it was going to be 24 episodes, I was like, okay, well, at least, we're getting 24 episodes for the Commonwealth. But nope, we've had like 2 or 3 episodes basically just like hemming and hawing about going to the Commonwealth, with Princess having the whole hallucination thing and not really being the Commonwealth, and then, them being stuck in the processing area. And it's just like, those are cool ideas, but like, I don't know. I just don't feel like the payoff once we got to the Commonwealth was worth it. It feels, it's the small universe problem that I like to say is with The Walking Dead, where, the Commonwealth has like 50,000 people. I don't even know if they've actually said that that's how many in the show, but, in the comics, that's how it is. And then they're like, oh, yeah, like, we're only going to show like 10 or 15 people inside the Commonwealth, inside these walls at a time. And it's like, okay, it's like the Hilltop again. The Hilltop should have had over 100 people like in the comics, but there's like 15 of them out there, as background characters. And you're like, all right, that's cool, I guess. The only one that I think did it fairly all right was the Kingdom. But like, even them, they're supposed to be larger too.
Yeah.
Zombie Gamer said, I wonder if someone's going to still get Dwight's death in the show. I think it's going to be Magna. That's my guess. I think that...
Really? I think it's going to be Gabriel.
I don't know. I mean, so here's the thing. I could see him doing two things. They're either going to give it to Negan or they're going to give it to Magna, in my opinion. I hope it's not Negan because I feel like... even saying it, I just feel like that's probably what they're going to do because that's how that show works right now. But I feel like Magna and Yumiko's storyline right now is kind of more parallel to Rick and Dwight, or like Rick, Michonne, and Dwight, I guess, because like Magna's kind of, or Yumiko's kind of taken over that like storyline that Michonne was gonna get with the lawyer, and then like Magna's, I don't know. I just feel like Magna could be the person, but I guess we'll find out. I think that there will be that death will be in there in some degree.
Yeah, and then I definitely think that they are gonna replicate Rick's comic book death at some point. I just really don't know who, because I definitely think that they're gonna kill off at least one more major character before the series ends, considering that we're on the final season, and we have not had like a really big character death in the show since Carl back in season 8.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that like, yeah, I mean, the big character deaths that we get are for characters that we're not really connected to anymore. The legacy characters are gone. There's only like 3 of them really: Maggie, Carol, and Daryl, and they're not gonna fucking kill Carol or Daryl off because they got that spinoff. But
yeah,
could they kill Maggie off? Maybe. Honestly, I don't even care at this point. Like, I personally don't even like whatever they do. They're just gonna do it. So like, the show has deviated so much, and like, yeah, it's great to have original storylines and like to like surprise it, but like, there's a difference between changing Tyrese's death from the comics and giving it to Herschel, and then like killing Carl off, because it doesn't make sense for Rick to let Negan survive, or having Henry be one of the Pike victims when you just were introducing him as a character, and then like, I don't know, it just, some of them just don't make sense for what they're like. I just don't get what the point is. It just seems like for shock value.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what are you gonna do?
To be fair, we have had character deaths in both of our series that shocked the audience.
Yeah, and like I've done the shock value deaths, but like I try to like don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna do shock value deaths, but I feel like at least when I do it, like there's some rhyme or reason, like there's a payoff to it of some sort. Like I would say Chris and Alden might have been like the 2 deaths like in recent times that people would be like, oh, like they were just killed off for shock value. Well, I was planning for both of them to get killed off for a while, and I was setting it up, and I feel like there is a big difference there. Like I think people were saying Alden's death was more of a shock value death, and I was like, and I know I've told you this before, but like from the moment Alden was introduced, I knew he was getting killed off in the season 10 finale, and he was basically getting that death. I wanted him to be a 2-season character, even though I really liked him, and I knew I was doing the right thing when I saw people really liked Alden from the start, and I even liked him a lot too, and I was like, oh, I'm going to kill him off, And so I made sure that his storyline for those 2 seasons, like it focused a lot on him to make sure he got his proper screen time. Tanner said, it'll be Aaron who gets Rick's death. He looks just like Comic Rick. Yeah, I mean, he does look a lot like Comic Rick. I could maybe see him getting the Dwight death. I could see that being the case too. I mean, that's the thing.
Maybe.
I could see it because they keep on hinting that Aaron's gonna have like this like breakdown moment here pretty soon. Like some of the theories is that his daughter's gonna get killed, Gracie or whatever, and that's gonna break him. I mean, I could see it maybe. I don't know. I could see Aaron getting it, but I could also see it. The Rick death is going to be the one that's going to be interesting because they're either gonna do one of two things. They're gonna do the Rick death and do it pretty similar, or they're gonna do something kind of similar and kill someone off, but it's not gonna be the same way, or at least the way that we're expecting it. So, yeah.
No, I swear, if they kill off Negan before the end of the series, I'm gonna piss. Negan he's without a doubt the best character left on the show at this point, in my opinion.
I agree, and that's why I'm really concerned that they're gonna give him the Dwight death, and that's why I'm trying to say I think it's gonna be Magna or someone else, but I fucking hope it's not Negan, because if it is, that is gonna be the last straw for me. And if they weren't close enough to the end of the show, I probably would stop watching and not pick it up till the show was, like a couple years down the road where I'm ready to like fucking just, fucking swallow the red pill. But yeah, if they fucking kill Negan off, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be so upset because it's just so fucking pointless at that point. It's like, really? Yeah, Negan kind of didn't have a great payoff at the end of the comics. He just became a hermit, which I was okay with at first, but we didn't know the comic was ending so soon afterwards. But like, at least he lived old age. He fucking lived a long time, and yeah, he might be like just kind of a hermit, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think Negan's one of those characters you can't kill off. You can't kill him off unless you're gonna do like some like really monumental thing. But like, I don't think there's anything they could do for the Commonwealth that would make sense other than him getting the Dwight death, and I think that's a terrible idea. But I think that they might do it, because if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense for Negan to get that death. He fits right up the alley of what Dwight was.
Well, no, I remember before the Daryl and Carol spinoff was announced, I thought for sure that there was no way that Daryl was going to make it to the end of the series. I thought for sure he was going to get either Dwight's comic book death or Rick's comic book death. Like, just based on the road that they've been bringing Daryl down as more of a rebellious leader figure, I was thinking there's no way in hell that he's making it to the end. And then they announced the spinoff. I'm like, well, shit. Now what?
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm not a Daryl fan. I know there's Daryl fans out there. I'm not a Daryl fan. He's been better recently, but he's the reason Glenn's dead. That's one of the things. You want to talk about all the stuff he's done?
I haven't forgotten about that.
He's the reason Glenn's dead. Just saying. All he did for most of the show was grunt, and now like that Rick's gone, he's like, I guess I'll talk. He's not a leader, and that's fine. He doesn't need to be a leader, but the problem is that now he's the main character, and so ideally your main character needs to be a leader. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, it's like, I don't want Daryl to die, but it just seems like, based on the way they were setting him up, it just seems like he was absolutely gonna die.
Yeah, I would have assumed he got the Dwight death if they didn't announce this spinoff. Unless the spinoff is complete bullshit and they're like just trying to like, psych people out, which honestly I could see him doing that, because they do all sorts of great fucking plans like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only show that I really care to see is Tales from the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That seems like it'll be pretty good. I mean, if they're going to bring back some of the old characters and do origin stories, I'm all for that. Like a Governor and an Abraham, episode would be perfect. I think there's been rumors that Tyrese is doing, or that Chad Coleman, well, that's his name. He's been on set, so I could see that too. I would assume that Sasha would be in it then, but I guess we'll see. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. Are they going to do like a Here's Negan situation where Dwight should be in the Here's Negan, but we can't figure it out, scheduling, whatever. We're not going to bring him in. We're just going to have Laura do it. That's what my concern is with some of those Tales of the Walking Dead. Is Abraham going to be a story with Eugene and Rosita, or is it going to be Abraham before that? So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
And of course, we're still waiting on those Rick Grimes movies. We've been waiting on those for
we're not getting multiple.
Now.
I'm calling it now. There's no way in hell we're gonna get 3 Rick Grimes movies. We're only gonna get 1. I think they know that too, and they've adjusted for it, because that's the problem. Is when you do this stuff and you don't have a plan and you're not planning on releasing it anytime soon. That's the first mistake. So.
Well, yeah, because I know that they planned it out incredibly last minute, like around the time that Andrew Lincoln was planning on leaving the show.
Yeah, I wonder why he wanted to leave the show. Oh, it's because he felt like his character had served this purpose because his son died. Oh, I'm just saying, I should have saw the writing on the wall when Carl died. That was the first mistake. And that is what I think that's why we have The Walking Dead that we have now. I feel like Rick would still be in the show if Carl was still around. I think Andrew Lincoln would have stayed. I full-heartedly feel like he would have.
Yeah, well, we all have Scott Gimple to thank for that, because it was his move
He's
that
the mastermind.
to kill off Carl. And then why else do you think shortly after he got fired as showrunner?
Yeah, but he basically got promoted. He's like, he fucking oversees all of it now. That's the problem.
Hey,
like, he oversees all of the universes now, and that's what I'm not about. Like, I think Angela Kang's done a pretty good job. I think season 9 and 10 were, I think they were good for what it was. But when you look at what they could have been with Rick and all that, it dwarfs it in comparison, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I know that the showrunner before Scott Gimple, Glenn Mazzara,
he
got fired like shortly after season 3 because he chose to kill off Andrea. Because Andrea, she was supposed to be around much longer, until like season 8, but he decided to kill her off for shock value.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, he got fired.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I still just cannot for the life of me understand Gimple's thought process, thinking that killing off Carl would result in Rick wanting to spare Negan. And on top of that, at the start of season 8, they made Carl a complete pacifist and telling Rick that they shouldn't kill Negan, even though last season there was the episode where Carl snuck into the Savior's compound saying that he wanted to kill Negan.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating with that stuff, man. Yeah, I think the best way to go, if they really thought that it'd be too out of left field for whatever reason for Rick to, like, I don't know. I think there's plenty of ways without killing someone for Rick to decide that, but I also think, like, if they really thought they needed to kill someone off, it should have been Morgan. It makes the most sense. Yeah. It made the most sense to kill Morgan off. He was all about all life is precious, and that would have made total sense. I would have been bummed out that Morgan died, but it would have made a lot of sense then for Rick to be like, because Morgan could have told him you need to spare him. It's the only way, like progressing in civilization. You have to start. You can't just kill everybody who disagrees with you. It would have made complete sense to me, but I don't fucking know. I don't know. This is why I make my own show. This is why I make my own show, because stuff like that. That's why I also try to make sure.
I know that.
What were you saying?
I know that I said previously that season 6 was probably my least favorite season. I know you're biased because that's your favorite season, but
it is my favorite
rewatching season 6, it's actually a lot better.
You've come to
what I remember it being.
You've come to the realization that you're wrong.
Yeah, because I definitely say that season 7 is the worst season.
Season 7 is a bad season, and it shouldn't have been. It really shouldn't have been. It should have been one of the best seasons, but Even season 8. I think season 8 got better as time progressed, but goddamn, season 8 was rough for the first 8 episodes. I think the second half saved it for me, but it's not the best season, and it's in the middle for me now. But yeah, I think season 6 is the best. Season 6 and season 3, even though season 3 did a lot of shock value stuff, but I thought the pacing was great. I think season 4 would have been better than season 3 if it wasn't for the second half just being such a drag, because I think the first half was great.
Yeah, my personal favorite season would definitely have to be season 5.
Yeah, see, I didn't like it at the time. I like it a little bit better now that it's all out, but there's things I like and there's things I don't like about season 5. Like, I wasn't too happy about Terminus at first. I wanted the cannibals to be the cannibals from the comics, and that's like where the deviation started to really be, apparent. I've grown to like the termites better, but I think some of the stuff with like the Beth episodes I thought were weak. Tyrese's death was a little out of left field. Granted, I think it's a good idea to do like those crazy deaths, but it just, I don't know. It just felt really out of left field. But I mean, I don't know. I can respect that. And then like Alexandria, it was great to see. I think that was like it was a good thing to see. So like over time, I've enjoyed it a little bit better. But I still would say season 6 was my favorite season, and then probably season 3, and then maybe I'm willing to say either season 9 or season 5 is my third favorite. I think season 9 with Rick's departure was great, and I think the introduction of the Whisperers, I still think even after the fact I felt like it was fairly strong with Rick missing, but then season 10 just I think kind of dropped it for me. But
Yeah.
Zombie Gamer said I really enjoy Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I think it got better, and Morgan was such a badass. I disagree. I think Fear was great until Morgan got there. I think Morgan was.
I mean, he had his moments. His moments.
Yeah,
here and there.
Morgan has his moments, but season 5 is garbage. There's nothing redeeming about season 5, and there's nothing even memorable about season 5, in my opinion. Season 4 started off great up until episode 8. Episode 8 was fine, but then after that, with the lady as the main villain, the homeless lady.
Oh yeah, the one
that's garbage.
Water bottles with antifreeze.
So that's a season and a half that I think is garbage. Season 6 started off okay, and then lost me with John Dory being killed, and then the rest of season 6 just was like kind of all over the place.
It's just kind of mediocre.
Yeah, like I like the concept with Teddy and like the Doomsday Cult type thing, but I don't think it really went anywhere. And then season 7 I think is just garbage.
Yeah, season 7 is awful.
So I can see why people like it, but I'm just gonna say you cannot convince me that season 7 is good. No one can convince me of that. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I will definitely give them credit. Season 6, it was a fairly good season. It started off really good with its first 7 episodes. But then episode 8, when they killed off John, my personal favorite character in Fear, my interest in the show definitely started to wane a lot. But I still decided to stick with it. And I didn't hate how season 6 ended. I know a lot of people did, but I just thought it was okay. It definitely left a bit to be desired, but it could have been a lot worse. So, yeah, because seasons 4 and 5, they were pretty lackluster. But season 6, it was showing signs of change somewhat. But season 7, I'm sorry. Like you just said, there's no one that could possibly believe that it's actually good. I want to believe that it'll get better in its second half, but I don't know. It seems pretty unlikely, at least in my book. Maybe there'll be some crazy stroke of luck to where it actually does get better. I really wish that would be the case, but I really don't know. One can only hope at this point.
All right, I'm back.
All right. But yeah, like I was saying with season 7, because I came to realize that season 6, I definitely think it got really good with its second half, and then same goes for season 8. The first half was kind of bleh, but the second half definitely got a lot better. Season 7, there was no good first half or second half. There were just a few decent episodes here and there. Most of the season was either mediocre or terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I thought season 8's second half was really strong. I thought, I was like, damn, dude, like, they fucking killed Carl off, and I'm not happy, but, like, Rick and his warpath made complete sense, and I, like, what is it? I think it's Still Gotta Mean Something. I think that's the title of the episode. It's, like, season 8, episode 12 or 14. Season 8, episode 14, if I remember correctly. It's, like, one of my favorite episodes. It, like, you know, Rick and Morgan going and basically killing all those saviors in the bar, and like basically just lying to them that, you know, he's like, you said we could get to go back to the communities, and Rick's just like, I lied. I was like, dude, that is fucking insane. And like, just, you know, I don't know, just the like cinematography of it and like the direction of it, like Rick seeing himself in the mirror afterwards. I was just like, dude, that is like such a fucking deep moment. And it's like, it's something I want to do in one of the shows at one point, but I don't want to give anything away. And it's something similar to that I want to do. So.
Yeah, like I loved episode 12, which was basically about Rick hunting down Negan, and then they're like trying to find each other in that dark house, and they're just constantly spitting back and forth with one another.
Yeah. There's just so many. There's so many fucking good. Yeah, okay, that's episode 12. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, Rick versus Negan was pretty awesome. And even like with Negan versus Simon, that was great. Second half was amazing. It really redeemed the first half, because the first half I felt like was just so slow, and was like going nowhere. And I was like, this is supposed to be a war, and like the war's so boring. But like, you know, and I was like, well, maybe it's because, you know, like you're showing people shoot at each other, but like there's been plenty of other moments in the show where I'm like, no, that's not true. Because like when Rick went to the satellite outpost, that was great, and that was a little slower pace. And then like, you know, the scene, like I said, the scene in season 8, episode 14, where they kill all the saviors in the bar. Like, you could show really good fight scenes with people. Like it was great, you know. But yeah, season 8 first half was not bad.
But yeah, no, I to be fair, season 7, it did have, like, obviously Negan was the most entertaining part of it. He had so many good quotable lines and moments throughout the season. And there were a couple of good episodes here and there, but yeah, most of the episodes, they were either just mediocre or bad. Like, the episode that always comes to mind is the Terra episode.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad. Just because there's no payoff to it now. There's no payoff.
Yeah.
There's, like, Heath went missing. Okay, he got sent to the, what's it called? The CRM. I feel like this piece is molded wrong or something, because I cannot get this to work. Oh, no, that makes more sense. Never mind. Put it on the wrong side. So yeah, I'm gonna build this bag, and then I think I'm gonna call it for the night. I'm on bag 4.
All right.
I can't believe how little I've gotten done of this thing. Oh man, I should have known better. I thought I'd at least get like 6 or 7. Just enjoying talking so much, you know. Yeah, next time I'll try to pick some smaller sets. You know, like maybe like at most $100 set, and then like between the $50 and $60 range. Worst case scenario, I can just start building another set.
Yeah. And then like another bad episode that comes to mind in season 7 was the episode they introduced Jadis and the Trash People.
Yeah, that was no pun intended, garbage.
Yeah. The only good thing I would say about that episode is when Rick had to fight Winslow, that walker that had all the spikes all over him.
Yeah, that was cool. I don't know. I just, like, everyone fucking saw that coming from a mile away that he was going to freaking get betrayed by them. Like, I don't know. They were just a garbage group.
Yeah, I'd say that Jadis and the Trash People, I'd say that they're worse than Pope and the Reapers. They're definitely like the worst villains.
Yeah, talking with their weird language and shit. Yeah. Last piece, where'd it go?
And then I remember when they brought back Jadis in World Beyond, there were like so many memes of like that scene in season 7 where Negan's like, "Don't care." Where's Rick?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, that's how I feel. Don't care. Where's Rick? They didn't know it was gonna become a meme, but it did. That's how it is for everything in that in the Walking Dead now. Like everything in the season. Like, dude. Okay, can you guys imagine if Rick isn't in the final episode at the very least of the finale for Walking Dead? Oh my god. I don't know what I'll do.
That'd be such a disappointment.
I will pen it the worst TV show finale ever. Dexter had the cake for that. They fixed it slightly, but god damn.
Yeah, by that point, they might as well just go all out. It's the final episode.
Yeah, they might as well.
Or bring back Heath while you're at it. Who cares?
Yeah, just fucking bring back everybody. Even if they are dead. Just say they're alive.
No, like at the end of Star Wars Episode 6 with like Yoda, Anakin, Obi-Wan's ghost.
Yeah, just have Force ghosts. That should be canon in The Walking Dead. Just have Force ghosts around there. If we can have zombies, Force ghosts can exist. Let's be real.
Yeah, looking at it now, I can definitely understand the positives of season 6 because I just can't stand season 7. Upon rewatching it, it is really bad.
Season 7s are rough for Walking Dead shows. Okay, also, I know we talked about it a little bit, but with Wolf Among Us, you played the original one, right?
I did, yeah.
Dude, I'm so fucking excited. That game, honestly, I think is better than most of the Walking Dead Telltale games. At least 3 out of the 5 that they released, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That is a hot take, I know. But I'm willing to say that I need to stop watching or stop thinking about season 2 with my rose-tinted glasses because I used to think that season's great, but in hindsight, you could start to see all the lies and deceit of what Telltale games are in that one.
What, like season 2 of Walking Dead or season 2 of Wolf Among Us?
Walking Dead, because season 2 of Wolf Among Us hasn't come out yet, but
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, season 2 of Telltale games, Walking Dead, I loved it at the time, but like you started to see like, okay, your choices really don't matter. I wanted Luke to live. There's no way to let him live. He's going out either way.
Yeah.
And then it's the thing where, oh yeah, we have all these endings, and then you get the New Frontier, and all the endings miraculously end up one way or the other.
Well, I feel like that's more of a critique towards season 3 as opposed to season 2, because season 2 laid the groundwork for potential branching paths, but when they went to season 3, they didn't translate that well at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is I think that's where it starts, because the first season did the same thing, and okay, that's understandable because we weren't expecting a season 2, or there wasn't as much of an expectation. Season 2, like, you could have had the game go in so many different directions, and I think, you know, the 4 directions they went were fine. But, like, let's be real. All the characters that you have a choice of killing off, they die one way or another. Except for the last couple, which is Kenny and, what's her name? Jane. Those are, like, the only 2, really, that you can dictate at the end of the game if they live or die. But the problem is like you said, by the time you get to season 3, they're fucking dead one way or another. The only way that Kenny lives is if you leave him and go into Wellington, if I remember correctly. And he just is out of the game at that point. He's never coming back. So, yeah, I mean, I think season 1 was great. Season 3 was all right. Season 4, I think, is all right. But yeah, like I was saying with Wolf Among Us, I think it's one of the best Telltale games.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I was not expecting to love it so much, and then I did, and it's fucking amazing. It's one of the best Telltale experiences out there. It was right.
Yeah, it's great that we're finally getting a sequel. I mean, granted, it's not going to be coming out for a while longer, but still great.
Yeah,
that it's
another year.
Happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we got a trailer finally, because like I think we deserved it. We had that little teaser, but that was even back when Telltale was still, you know, Telltale was still not shut down. So honestly, I think it's going to be better than whatever they had planned, because they have changed it a little bit. But
yeah, and they've had a lot of time to make changes to it.
Yeah, I mean, they've basically been working on it. They'll be working on it for 5 years. And so, while it has its limitations because it's trying to stage that same feel as the other Telltale games and the other game, but I think it will still be, I think it's gonna like, I would like to think it's gonna blow the first one out of the water. Just with the Unreal Engine and all that, I think Wolf Among Us 2 is gonna be like a fantastic experience. I will be playing.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, I will be playing the shit out of it. That is for sure.
Yeah, with season 3 of the Walking Dead Telltale game, for the longest time, I heard so many people would shit on it, and I would try so hard to defend it, but as I've got, because it's been almost 5 years since that game came out.
Which one
and
again?
As I've gotten older, I can definitely understand the problems with it.
Which one were you talking about?
Season 3 of The Walking Dead, A New Frontier.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Javier and I liked the storyline, but like, I don't know. It just like Clementine wasn't the main protagonist, which I thought was fine. I totally thought it was fine. But the problem is that like, I don't know. Those characters don't make any difference for the rest of the show. Like, they don't come back in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure they had to change some stuff. They might have had plans to do it, but like that's the problem with Telltale is they get too big for their bridges, and then they do this stuff, and then they're like, oh well, we can't actually do that for a future season, so we're gonna do this. So they kind of refine it back to a more simpler concept each time.
Well, yeah, because I heard recently that the original story they had planned for season 3 is that Javier would be captured by the New Frontier and would get branded against his will before escaping, but he would still have to go back to the New Frontier to rescue the rest of his family. Like, for example, Kate, she didn't exist in the original story. It was just David, Gabe, and Mariana. And since Clementine still had to rescue AJ, it made sense for them to team up because they both had the same goals.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, when the trailer came out, Javier had a scar, but he doesn't in the main show when you actually play it. It's his brother, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that's right.
Yeah, in the first trailer for the game, Javier has the New Frontier branding on his neck.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that's interesting about Telltale games when you look into them, like just seeing the cut content and stuff. Because Season 2 had the same thing. Carver was going to be a different character. Carver actually was going to exist, and it was going to be Kenny as this Carver character, which I almost kind of wish was the case. But, yeah. Because Carver's character model was...
Season 2 was originally meant to be much darker.
Yeah, I mean, Carver's character model was seen in the trailer for episode 2, and it was the one guy that forget his name, but he was one of the kind of thugs that were with Carver, and they swapped it. Yeah.
In fact, I remember that episode 5 of season 2 was originally going to be called "Better to Sleep," which some people have broke down that that's kind of a dark thing. Like, people are thinking that it's better to be dead than alive. Like, that's basically what that title was referring to.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I got the idea for the title of my season 6 finale.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, coming up with titles for crap, almost knocked over my thing. Coming up with titles for the shows is always a fun thing to do. A lot of times mine will be something that's been said in the episode, but I also try to do stuff that is the overarching theme or whatever for the episode. For example, news for the last episode, because there's a news. There's a lot of those. I thought about not doing it, but and also not showing the news scene, but I felt like it was one of those things people could speculate on. A little fun fact, next episode is called Tell Me, and initially, so before I really had Cal become this character in the show, before we talked about it, the idea was going to be the finale was the way that the finale is going to be playing out now was split up into 2 parts, and then it was going to leave on a cliffhanger. And I'll explain what the cliffhanger is once it comes out, but it was going to be someone else asking someone to tell them something. It was gonna be between Anna and Tobias, which I don't think is giving away much because it's not the same now. But now, little thing is that Tobias is gonna be talking to Cal, asking him to tell him basically his story. So that is the new meaning for that episode.
You still have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always definitely found it's important. I always have fun coming up with titles for episodes, but of course it's always important to make sure that it relates to what happened in the episode, and it's not just some random crap.
Yeah. That's what I try to do too. I try to look for certain things. That's why a lot of times it will just be something that is said or that's the most common thing. But I try to be a little diverse with that. I think there has been some like pretty good, episode titles for certain things. I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, damn it. My earbuds are only at 20%. They're going to die like any minute now. Yeah, it's like making all kind of crazy noises at me every couple of minutes. It's like, I know, they're dying. I'm going to charge them sometime soon.
All right, I'm back. I am almost done with this bag. So we'll be wrapping up here pretty soon.
All right.
But it was, it was nice to do this. It was a little fun thing to try out. I'd like to try to do it like once a month or something, depending on how busy I am and you are. But we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And if you ever decide to do a live stream, you could do the same thing.
Well, yeah, I definitely have to figure out the kinks of how YouTube live streaming works before planning around that.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of jumped right into it. I mean, if you can use your cell phone, that's what I'm doing. And I just have it hooked up to my tripod. And seems to be doing fine. The only thing that kind of sucks is like I can't watch the stream on mute with you on Discord. So I'd have to, if I had a computer, like a laptop, that'd be great. But like I have a PC, and so obviously I can't move that around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the pros and cons with being one of those like PC fucking nerds with like gaming and stuff. It's like it's stuck in one spot. You ain't moving it.
Yeah.
So the other option would
recently, one of my friends, he ended up getting a custom-made PC. He was like, "Nah, I don't feel like going out tonight. I want to test this baby out." I'm like, "Really, really, dude? I mean, I get that you're excited to get it, but come on, we need to have some kind of social life. Get your ass out here."
Yeah, I have friends that get really into WoW and then don't want to hang out. I'm just like, really? It's like life's, there's more to life than just playing video games. Trust me, I've been there, done that, but I don't know.
I mean, really, the only thing that I use my computer for a lot of the time is editing my videos. Like, I don't really play too many games on Steam or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't really too much either. I would like to. I'm just afraid to fucking destroy my PC on accident because I don't feel like mine's is high tech enough just yet to like play some of these games that I would like to play on PC. So I just play on like Xbox and PlayStation. But I would like to build a PC in the next year or so. Build a new one that's a little bit better. Because mine's fine. I probably can run some stuff pretty all right, but there's definitely its limitations.
I know that around the time the Back 4 Blood open beta came out, I tried playing it on my computer, but it ran horribly. And I don't so much blame that on the game. I blame that on my laptop because it is a little bit old, and I definitely should get a new one. But just the thing is, getting a new laptop will be expensive.
Yeah.
That's just why I haven't bit the bullet on that yet.
Do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation?
We did have an Xbox, but it was my older brother's, and he has it with him right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because I downloaded Back 4 Blood. I haven't played it, but I have it like through like Xbox Game Pass, and I probably will play it at some point. I just haven't got around to it.
I don't know, because I haven't heard an awful lot of positive things about because Back 4 Blood was basically made to kind of continue off of the legacy left behind by Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But people have been saying that Back 4 Blood it's just too different. Like, they've added almost too much to the game to make it fit in with more modern games. Because Left 4 Dead is definitely old. Like, the first game came out in 2008, like a good 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like the card system and certain other things about the game, it's definitely difficult for me to get behind, as opposed to Left 4 Dead, where you're just given a gun and you shoot zombies and you just kind of mosey along your way. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Yeah, I was playing World War Z for a quick minute, like not even that much, because I liked that, concept, just killing a bunch of zombies. So.
I mean, of course, the thing is, there's also, like, the special zombies. Like, there's the zombie that spits at you. There's the zombie that grabs you with its tongue. There's the one that's a giant, massive muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about, like, I get it's a video game thing, but about having all the different kind of zombie special types.
Can you imagine if, like, there's a nightmare sequence in one of our shows where our characters are fighting against a horde of zombies, but then all of a sudden, like, this huge muscle mass of a zombie comes breaking down through a brick wall and just starts beating the shit out of all of them.
I know, right? Like, whoa.
I mean, it could work. It's just a nightmare, but the likelihood of that actually happening in either of our shows is pretty low.
Very slim. Yeah. Yeah, I try to use my nightmare sequences or just my dream sequences sparingly. I haven't really I don't feel like I've done a proper like nightmare sequence, but that's something that probably could work really well.
Yeah. Jeez, we're almost at the 3-hour mark.
I know. I'm almost done with this too. Or at least for this bag. It's going to take me a while to build this set, that's for sure. I have to figure out where to come up with that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's not too bad. I think there's really only 12 bags. So I'm like a third of the way done. If you're thinking about it from a bag standpoint.
Yeah.
But bags can be deceiving. I've learned that too many times.
Well, yeah, because the bags, they can sometimes slightly vary in size. Like some bags will be just slightly bigger than another one.
Well, yeah, the first bag was the biggest one out of this batch that I've done just now. And yeah, it was quite literally that. I was like, okay, it's the whole. I mean, granted, it's a lot of the foundation, but yeah, I notice usually when you put in a lot of details with some of these, they start getting pretty, you know, pretty big bags.
Yeah. And something I forgot to mention, when I got my copy of the Seinfeld set, it actually came with 2 sticker sheets. I don't know if it's supposed to, but yeah, my copy of the set came with 2 sets of the stickers.
Mine didn't, so that's definitely a you thing that you got. I've only gotten some weird things with Lego before, and it's been in the recent years because of with COVID and just the you know, the what's the word? The supply chain and the just the standard is a little bit down. Like,
Yeah.
The 501st battle packs were like the most notable one. Like a lot of people were getting misprints on the clones. I literally only have one of the clones that's noticeable. I might have another misprint just like slightly or something, but my one clone has the printing for the face on the clone helmet on the back of the head or on the back of the helmet. So like,
oh, really?
That one's pretty cool. If I can find it right now, I'll show it in the stream. But, it's a pretty bad one. Granted, I have like 65 of these 501st stickers, so let's see how fast I can find it. Here it is. Okay, I'll show the stream. Yeah, so it's on the back of the head. It's completely, yeah. So that's kind of cool, you know, just to have as a weird rare item. Even though
it's definitely a standout.
Yeah, it's definitely more common with those troopers for the first like year of them being made. There's just so many like errors. Some of them are like very slight, like the some of like the printing was just slightly off. That one's like a very blatant one that's wrong. But yeah, the only other things I've run into is like maybe missing a piece, and like I think this happened to me like twice out of all my years, and one of them was in Ninjago City. I was missing one of the like window frame pieces. It's like a brown window frame, the smaller one. I was missing it, so I had to go find one from a different set or just a backup one that I had in my storage containers. And I was just like, dude, that sucks. I was like, I had that set for a while in package too.
Yeah.
And you can contact Lego, you know, and get it sent to you. But I'm like, for that little piece, like really, it's whatever. It's just fucking whatever.
Yeah, I had to unplug my earbuds because they were about to die on me. I don't know if that's resulted in me sounding any different.
You sound a little louder, but it's not a big deal to me. So I'm about to put in my last step to this thing. So I'll be wrapping up here in just a second too. 'Cause I'm tired, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, it's after 1 o'clock in the morning where I am now. I mean, thankfully I'm not working tomorrow, but still.
Yeah. I don't blame you. All right, so there's that. So didn't get a whole bunch done, but you know, I got I part of the middle of the ship done, and then part of one of the little pier areas. So nice little build. But
I mean, at least you could say that you got started on it, because God knows how long it had been sitting there.
Yeah, at least a year or so. At least a year. I bought it like when it first released. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for talking, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Giving some people some company for a couple hours. Thanks to everybody who joined us in this stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now, so I'll try to do this again in like a month or so. If I can figure out how to end the stream, I will end the stream. So, all right, see ya.